The award-winning Terra Hill stud is home to the All-Stars, including Cattle Wash, sire of the undefeated U.S. and Canadian Horse of the Year, Bojangles. Green Manalishi, the leading OSS stallion of 2- and 3-year-olds in 2025. Terra Hills is also home to Dan Patch Award winner King of the North, who is set to unleash his first crop in 2026. And of course, the perennial leading sire, Muscle Mass, whose sons and daughters have now earned over $90 million. This stacked roster is only getting deeper as Terra Hills welcomes for 2026 the Iron Horse of Buckabent Hanover and the champion son of Chapter 7, Killmister. This is Terra Hills Stud, home of the All-Stars. For more, visit terrahills.com.
Congratulations to everyone who purchased yearlings at our sale last year. Standardbred Horse Sales Company is excited to watch your 2-year-olds train, and we wish you the best of luck at the races. We look forward to seeing more future champions. We'll see you November 2nd through the 6th in Harrisburg, as once again we will be offering 3 days of the sport's top yearlings as well as the #1 mixed sale in the industry. Don't miss it. See you in Harrisburg.
I'm here with John Butenschoen. John, congratulations. You've recently gone over 2,000 career victories, but you've been in harness racing a lot longer than that.
Yeah, I have. That's why I say 2,000. It means I'm old and it means I've lost a lot of races, but we won a couple too.
Well, they only started keeping records since 1991. So do you have an estimate of how many victories you would have possibly had if the records were being kept?
Not many more. We were married in '86. We were racing in Chicago with some pretty cheap homebreds, so I probably didn't win many of them first few years, but there'd be a few more than that.
Let's move on and talk about the makeup of the stable this year. How many horses do you have in training?
We brought 32 down this year, which gives us one complete barn, which is fewer than what we've had, and kind of trying to work our way down that. We got some really nice quality yearlings that people have sent us. So we have 22-year-olds, 10 3-year-olds, and 2 returning 4-year-olds.
What is the breakup of trotters versus pacers?
2 pacers. One 3-year-old, one 2-year-old.
I know that you've said in previous interviews that you are definitely more in love with the trotters.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We didn't have the opportunity to train many when I was young, or even the opportunities to race them in Chicago. Then when I got out of high school and went south and worked for Delvin for them years and kind of fell in love with them. And as luck be with me, we had a few good ones in Illinois, and it kind of translated over in the last several years. We, not particularly by design, it's just worked out where the owners that I've acquired seem to be more vested in the trotters, or if they have pacers and trotters, they've been giving them to me to train. So it's a win-win, I guess.
Let's talk about the young pupils, starting off with Knots, a trotting colt by Walner out of Lasso Rope. Harrisburg purchase for $15,000.
Yeah, I was really pleasantly surprised on this colt. I seen him, I thought everything looked right on him. Not quite sure why he only brought $15,000. Dave Prushnock and his brother Dan were there at the sale, and they asked me if there's something that I seen that I like. And by the back sale ring, Anvil and Lace had him consigned for Winning Key Farm. I said, well, just step right through the doors there and go take a look at this colt. He's a real nice colt. And he came in, and I think Dan bid once or twice, and he brought bidding stopped at 15, and we were like, holy shit. It was he's a real nice colt. He's a half brother to Volume 8. Maybe only being New Jersey bred, it seems like there's been a lot of focus and a premium paid on the dual eligibles, but that's just pure speculation on my part. But tickled to death that we got him. So.
Moving on to Manking, sold as Regal George. First crop, King of the North out of Glide By, $130,000 yearling purchase.
He's a beautiful colt, nice big strong colt. M&L of Delaware bought him and sent him to me to train down. Susie Kerwood and Renee will get him up in Dion. Renee Dion will get him up in Canada. He'll be leaving here to go there. So I think they'll be happy with him. I've been pleased with how he's come along, and both King of the Norths, actually. I got a filly for them as well. So hopefully they'll make some noise up in Canada for him.
Moving on to Mystic Landing, a trotting filly, tactical landing out of Shape Shifter, Lexington, $82,000 purchase.
Another one, I mean, you don't want to say that $82,000 is cheap, but we were tickled to death to get her for that price, and I got 4 partners on her that quartered up, and I could have probably had 20 after we bought her. She's a tactical landing out of a Cadabra sister to Allegiant. So, I mean, you got the same bloodlines, you've got all that. She's been nothing but kind of impressive from day one, and we just hope that I can say the same thing come later on in the year. I've been really happy with her.
The Devil's Money, international money out of Jules and Hock, $17,000 Lexington purchase.
Oh, I thought he was 19. I'm glad I didn't pay that much for him. That's good. But no, what a really nice colt. Scott Zeron was here today. I had him go with them because, 1, I like the colt. 2, he he drove international money. And he's also driven 2 half-sisters by Propulsion that M&L of Delaware bought, Our Charm and Our Gem. So it kind of had a little bit of a Zeron connection there. And he was really happy with them. I'm very pleased with that colt. We'll see what happens. And we didn't have to pay that much.
I recognize too, I just saw hip number 666.
The Devil's Money, and that's why his name was changed. His name was, I think it was Mind Your Hublot or Hublet or something like that, and nobody could understand what that was, but the owner called me and says, what about this? I said, we got the devil in there, and it kind of worked out. We're being an international money, little play on words, so yep, he's the Devil's Money.
Let's talk about Our Sweetie, a trotting filly, Chapter 7 out of Gama, Bourbon. Lexington sale, $330,000 yearling purchase out of a European family that was extremely strong.
Yeah, we're tickled to death to have her, the Armitage, M&L Delaware contingency with a bunch of other advisors, they've got their farm managers and that, and they kind of will look to see what we think of them or as trainers or not, give them my list, and they do the ultimate. So whatever the price is depends on them. I was particularly happy, 1, that they were able to buy her, and 2, that they decided to send her to me. She's the right size, Chapter 7, I think. Her brother Mount Castle's a massive horse, and Scott has actually drove her, and he went with this filly here again today for us. But she's really nice. I kind of like her. We got dual eligibility, gives us some options, great family, and we'll see what happens.
Rozita Armitage, also a trotting filly, Chapter 7 out of Windy Corner, a $50,000 Lexington purchase.
Yeah, I mean, we went out and took a look at all the, like many of the farms, look at all of the Armitage horses. There was some interest in her. Jim Crawford wants to get as many Chapter 7s as he can. I've had her on my list. I thought she was really good out in the field, and I thought she had a great video. Made a little bit different than some of the other ones. Her damn Windy Corner was a small mare that Irv had some luck with. Hadn't really thrown a top horse yet, but the full sister to Windy Corner by the name of Kaikura had a Swan for All, San Patricio. That was a really nice colt for me last year as too. So I kind of like the family. I like this filly. We got her Chapter 7 that's dual eligible for $50,000, and we can't say anything else. I mean, it was wonderful. She training real well.
T-Money, a crazy wow out of Pink Bloom, $30,000 Lexington purchase.
Yeah, it's just been real difficult to buy New York horses, so I look at all the New York bred horses. This is a horse that I seen up at Crawford Farms, turned him out. He was just lights out. Had a little bit of luck with the crazy wows. Maybe people don't focus as much on them as they do the Chapter 7, but he's out of a Chapter 7 mare. I thought he moved really good in the field, thought he moved really good on video, and come up with the right price. We're looking to find something that is also dual eligible for New York, and it's always nice when the farm manager for the farms, Heather Marshall, and her husband Chad were interested in buying part of them. So, but that's a good thing, and he's training like he should be a nice little colt.
So you called me when we started this talking about doing twos in training, and you wanted to spice things up. One of the things we're going to do is discuss with Jackie all that she does. You raise your hand, you sign a paper. It's all up to Jackie from there.
All it is, I said, we go round and round about this because I give myself carte blanche at the sale, and she doesn't really like that. So I'll buy these things, and then she has to figure out how to pay for them. But she's been in charge of all the bookwork, all the paperwork, and does everything for the stable.
Jackie, we know that you handle the business side of everything. John told me he has basically carte blanche at the horse sales.
I wouldn't say that. He just doesn't listen. when we first started going to the sales 40 years ago, and I would go with him, and we had to have the checkbook.
Yeah.
And it was great, and I could monitor him. And then suddenly somebody gave him credit. I don't know who did that, but yeah, no, not carte blanche, but he thinks he does.
So basically, he's there at the sale. He looks through the catalogs. He's inspecting the yearlings. He's there, raises his hand, signs the ticket. Then basically, it's all handed over to you.
Yeah.
You have all that and still preparing for the next year, all while doing invoices monthly.
Yeah. And I just got a bill the other day that I don't know if anybody else is having the same trouble, and it turns out I did pay, and I still have to get back with the shipper on it that I had paid last fall, but they miscrediting it. So I had to go out into the garage, dig through all the tax stuff. I don't know about you, but my bills are in a tote. Not a little tote. My bills are in a tote. So I had to dig through all that to get it back out. So I try personally to handle a bill one time, if at all possible. I try to open it, enter it in the computer, pay it, put it away.
So when do you get any downtime?
I think the trainer's wife is the hardest job in the entire industry for probably 90% of us. Because who is Mike going to yell at when he has a bad day in the barn? Mm-hmm. Who's going to take the brunt of that? Yep. You're not going to yell at Doug. Right. No, it's going to be, well, thank God I had Tyler. I would take the brunt of all of it. But it's 24/7. There's never a break. We have a cruise booked. It's our 40th wedding anniversary this year. We have a cruise booked to Alaska in July. I go to bed every night just thinking about sitting on the deck of that ship watching a whale go by or something. But yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Jackie.
Thank you.
One of the other things that you wanted us to do, we're going to be starting today, is we're going to do kind of a round table or ask different people. We've selected some already that are going to be asked 5 questions and get individual answers. Some may agree, some may not, but I think it's a cool idea and a different way to break up the segments.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise you're always getting my opinion, and who cares about my opinion, you know? So we've had Tyler do these before or whatnot, but we've got owners here, we got different ones around. Everybody's got a different idea about what's going on, so see what everybody else has to say. I'm tired of seeing my face.
What horse were you happiest to add to the stable from the sale, and why?
I always love a tactical landing colt. So they changed the names. He was Atomic Punk. He's now Mantomic, but in my brain, one day I called him Man Punk, and so I can't lose the Man Punk. But I love the tactical landings. I'm not so much about the breeding or anything. I just fall in love with the individual.
I'd probably say one of the horses that I own myself. He's a green shoe out of Tsunami Blue Chip, and I bought him, and the deal, him and one other horses, they're going to be my 2 horses to kind of train and take care of and do everything with in Kentucky this year. So he was the first of the group, so he was the one I was excited to get in.
As far as Armitage Farm, I really like our Sweetie, the Chapter 7 filly, sister to Mount Castle. And then from the M&L side, I like Manking, King of the North, trotting colt.
I was happy to get Everybody Knows, the nice Muscle Hill filly that I bought for too much money that I forgot to tell my wife about. But I got a Muscle Hill filly for, I thought, a nice price. I don't think she thought it. So this is the I told you so horse. Because if she turns out good, I told you so. And if she turns out bad, she goes, I told you so.
What horse are you looking forward to racing at this stage of the game?
We have a trotting filly, Everybody Knows, that I don't even take care of her. But I really like the way she looks starting off. Now, I haven't seen anything because I'm buried, but I'm hoping that she turns out well.
That's a tough one. There's a bunch of them that I really like here. If I had to pick one right now, I'd probably say the Devil's Money, International Money Colt.
Manking up in Canada, he'll end up going up to Susie Kerwood to race. And then our Sweetie sort of reminds me of Melina, who we had.
I'm looking forward to some of the expensive fillies just because, but I like proving that I can pick out a cheap horse. So I'd say maybe Devil's Money or Knots.
Who is most likely to win the most money this season?
Let's go. Hook, line, sinker, where's my crown? They're Tyler's.
I'm going to go with the Indiana-bred trotting filly, Karamia. Just because of the dual eligibility, the Indiana program's so good along with the Kentucky program. And if it lines up the same way it did last year, you could double dip out of both.
I'm going to stick with Sweetie.
Probably something that's New York and Kentucky eligible. I'd say one of the Chapter 7 fillies has a good shot at it. Just at this point of the game, it's too hard to tell which ones are the best and which ones aren't. But the opportunities to make money in New York are awesome.
Who is the sleeper in the barn?
Go. I'm falling in love with T-Money.
I might go with T-Money, Crazy Wild Colt, just because people kind of ignore the Crazy Wilds a little bit being in New York and Chapter 7 dominates, but he just does everything right, and I think New York gives one a lot of opportunity just to make some money.
The sleeper in the barn, I think, is Artoria. She's a Muscle Hill filly. I mean, she cost a lot of money, but I just think she's a sleeper. She doesn't seem to do anything wrong, and she always seems to be there right, at the wire when they're finished training.
Just from a money standpoint, I would say T-Money, just because he's New York bred and he's just a handy little sports car. Sleeper for ability-wise, I don't know. They all train pretty darn good today. I would say Devil's Money, but he's really not a sleeper. So,
What is John's best trait?
He's just sharp on things. If he goes with the horse and it's been doing something wrong, he goes a day or two, he's going to be able to figure out what it is. And if he doesn't get it there, he'll make changes, he'll mess with them every day. I can't come up with too many that he hasn't been able to figure out, and we get almost everything to the races at some point in time. He will take as much time as it takes to make sure that horse gets to where it needs to be.
I think it's organization. He wouldn't seem like it when you talk to him, but he's very organized.
Jackie.
What do you think everyone else said?
Jackie. Really, I don't know. I can be a little bit of a fuddy-dud old grump around the barn, and I'm really not that bad. I'll once get away from it.
John would want me to say his best trait is sex. We're not going with that one. We're going to go with, he's a hard worker.
Thank you so much, John, for taking time and opening up your stable and viewing deck to us again this year.
Well, you're quite welcome anytime. Now, next year, they got to get the USDA to schedule their meetings around our pig roast. Come on, people. It's fun. Don't put everybody in a room in Columbus, Ohio. Let them come to the sunshine.
We've been here for the pig roast. It's amazing. There's footage on YouTube. Thank you, John.
All right.